Unit 7. Finance. Tracks 33 to 36. Speaker 1.
Minister, on the subject of tax evasion, I was wondering whether the Minister could confirm whether it's true that the tax authorities bought copies of confidential banking data from a former employee of the National Bank of Liechtenstein.
Yes. Well, I'm afraid I'm not in a position to comment on that at this point in time.
But surely the public has a right to know.
Well, if you just let me finish, the government will be issuing a press statement later in the day concerning that matter.
Speaker 2.
And I think we still have 5 minutes for questions. Yes, the gentleman at the back.
What would you say were the secrets of fraud accounting? I mean, how do you decide whether to take a client or not?
I'm sorry, do you mind using the microphone, and can you tell us your name, please?
Sorry. Peter Guthrie, accountant. My question concerns fraud in accounting. I'd like to know more about your policy for taking on clients when it comes to investigating fraud.
Thanks, Peter. So your question is about how we take on new clients.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking from our experience, I can say we turn down 2 jobs out of 10 because we are not comfortable with the prospective clients. I hope that answers your question.
Speaker 3.
I have 100,000 euros, but I'm not sure how to invest the money.
If I understand you correctly, you'd like me to advise you on how to invest your money?
Yes. Could you tell us what makes a good investment?
Well, I'm often asked that question. To be honest, Anne-Marie, sometimes it's just instinct or a personal recommendation. But I can tell you what is not a good investment. I would avoid any family businesses, any business that claims to be number one, or any business that has already peaked.
Thanks, that's very useful.
Speaker 4.
Okay, so that's an overview of investment in startups in Europe. Are there any questions before I move on?
I'd like to ask you why you think most financiers are not investing in technology in Russia.
Well, that's difficult to say, and it's not my field of expertise as such, but I would hazard a guess it's too risky, despite the large pool of science and maths talent.
So you're saying Russia is too risky?
Well, not exactly, no. In fact, the unpopularity of high-risk investment is an advantage for those investors interested in the region.
And the fact that business startups in Silicon Valley have dozens of venture capital companies to choose from, whereas in Russia we have relatively few.
Yes, that's a good point. In fact, one Russian businessman told me that there are 3 types of investors. The first are the 3 Fs, friends, family and fools. Then you have the so-called angel investors, the individual investors, and the venture capitalists who take a project to the next level, to the strategic investors.
Strategic investors?
Yes, if I could just finish what I was saying. At the last stage, the strategic investors are governments, big multinationals, that kind of thing. But it's the angels with the highest risk and highest reward that are lacking in Russia.